Hey everybody, Driven to Compete. Thanks for checking out my channel. I just wanted to take a moment to discuss a topic that's been in the news lately with the Las Vegas shootings, and then of course now most recently with the Texas shooting. So I thought I would start by talking about the primary topic or issue being addressed right now, which is this right here. This is an AR-15. The AR-15, for those of you that are not familiar with it, it is the civilian issued version of like an M4. So the military would use it as a semi-automatic firearm. Not all ARs are created equal. This particular unit is manufactured by one of the premier AR-15 manufacturers in the United States. This is particular item comes from Patriot Ordnance Factory out of Arizona, and I own two of these. These are wonderful ARs, and again, if you'd like to learn more about what separates a higher end AR from the $500 models that you can purchase today, you really need to do a little research. I can tell you that there's some YouTube videos by POF talking about what separates, or some of the changes that they've made to their AR platform to make it more reliable, to hopefully set it a couple steps above the rest of the AR competition. I am not sitting here saying they by far make the best AR on the market. I'm not here to generate arguments or anything of that nature. Living in Pennsylvania, LWRC is located in Maryland. They're practically in our backyard. They make a fine firearm as well. I just happen to get a great price on mine, so that's, you know, my POF, so that's what I picked up. But anyway, this particular firearm has quite a bit of extra hardware on it, and I'm really not prepared to go into a detailed discussion about the hardware. I just wanted to first and foremost educate those of you that don't know what a slide fire stock is. This particular firearm actually has a slide fire stock on it, and basically it slides back and forth, and basically what happens is when you fire the gun, you put your finger in here, and it when you fire, the recoil comes back, stock moves back and forth, and it allows the firearm to rapidly refire. So I thought I would talk about that, what a slide fire stock is. This particular slide fire stock is manufactured by Slide Fire itself, and it's one of their newest ones. You can lock it in place. It's adjustable. It's a really nice. It's a really nice stock if you're looking for a slide fire stock. Definitely, I will tell you this. It did require some modification to some of the tolerances. Apparently, when you not everything is mil spec. The buffer tubes on POF's diameters are slightly larger, and they do that to add some strength. They have a design that they claim is anti-tilt proof, and you know, again, so because of that reason, you know, I had to do a little bit of modification with the Dremel to smooth out some areas to allow it to fit properly and slide. But this is a slide fire stock, and this is an AR-15. So with that said, the real reason I wanted to have this conversation was because the media has portrayed this weapon as the as something that needs to be eliminated, or at least is the cause of the root of all these mass shootings, and it's, you know, it's to blame specifically. And so I'm here to say to you, first and foremost, that this firearm, the way it sits right here on the table, by itself will not harm anything. It will not shoot. It's incapable of taking a life. It's just, that's not its purpose. It would require human interaction for this firearm to actually work and to take a life. So first and foremost, my first argument is, one, it's not the gun that's the problem. And until we address the issue at hand, which is that there is evil in this world, and there are bad people, and even good people can make bad decisions. So first and foremost, I wanted to say that. Second part of it is I wanted to say, which is, hey, look, the AR-15 is not, by banning these or removing them from sale to the public, is not going to stop the issue. And I'll tell you why. Because this would not be my first choice as a close quarters combat. And I think that we need to consider all the options. And to be honest with you, as deadly as this weapon is, I recently purchased my wife a Mossberg shotgun. Okay, and I do want to say it is for my wife, which is why it's been segregated and it's pink and black. But anyway, this is just as deadly a weapon in close quarters combat, if not more deadly weapon than this AR-15. And people talk about the 30-round magazines. Well, I have news for you. In my KSG video, you can literally hold, just almost as many rounds in a tactical shotgun that is on the market with many 12-gauge rounds as you can with a standard 30-round capacity magazine on an AR. So with a Gila Mini shells being utilized in this firearm is actually able to hold 11 rounds. And I know 11 compared to 30, as an example, isn't that big of a deal. But if you really want to consider what's dangerous and how to protect the population, then do you stop at ARs, or do you go to something like shotguns? I don't know. The other thing I wanted to show you is right here. This is a 9mm Springfield Armory Mod 2, and guess what? It holds 16 rounds of 9mm. So I have a 45 that holds 13, and I have a 40 cal handgun as well from Springfield that I believe holds 16 as well. So I mean, there's some capacity there. They also make higher capacity magazines that will go to 30 or 32 rounds depending upon the caliber. So again, this is capable of doing just as much death as this is. So I guess my question to you would be is, at what point, where do we draw the line? Do we say all guns are bad? Or do we say, okay, not all guns are bad, we are going to keep, we just want to eliminate ARs, tactical shotguns, and handguns? I don't know. I guess my point is that it's not going to stop. If we as a population tell our government it's okay to tell us that we can't, we don't have the right to bear arms, which is in the Second Amendment, then we might as well give up other rights. Rights such as, how to live our lives, what clothes to wear, what religions we can or can't practice, what we can or can't go to school for. Can we go to school? I mean, if you think about it, as silly as all those may sound, if you're living in a third world country, you don't have those options. And, if you're living under a dictatorship, under a communist type of party, then guess what? They're going to tell you what you can and can't do. They're going to limit what your options are. And we live in America. It was formed on a democracy, and I believe that we, as Americans, have to stand up for our rights. It's not not everybody, believe me, we probably have the most heavily armed civilian population in the world. And yes, we have mass shootings, we've had gun violence. However, when you consider how heavily armed our population is, it's really a small percentage. It's just our society and media today seems to feed on negativity. You only ever hear about the negative stuff. You don't hear about the positives. The media did mention it, but it was barely covered that, in the Florida shooting, for instance, somebody with a concealed carry permit, actually civilian, there were civilians that actually responded to the gunfire and actually returned fire to protect innocent lives. And, that's just an example of, a positive that our rights, the Second Amendment gives us, is meant to provide, which is, the right to bear arms, to protect ourselves, to protect our neighbors, and our friends, our family, so on. So, what can you do if you're watching this video? First and foremost, educate yourself. Get to know what your rights are. Learn about some of these firearms. Understand what the media is actually talking about. And then another thing is support the NRA. I can't say that enough. I'm an NRA supporter. I have my card, in my wallet. I can't say it enough. The National Rifle Association is a great source to support because they have our backs. They really truly are trying to protect the Second Amendment. They're out to try to maintain the rights that our forefathers gave us. So again, I'm not sitting here and I'm saying that what happened in Vegas, Las Vegas, and what happened in Texas is okay, because it's not. It's not at all. And I can tell you that I'm a concealed carry permit, and I carry for one reason only, and that is to protect myself and my family when we're out in public against things like that could occur. And I also am a Christian, and I believe that when it's our time, it's our time. So I go to church on Sundays, and just like those poor people did in Texas, they were in church, and they lost their lives. And the only comfort that I can give is knowing that, or I can take, is knowing that those people were in the house of the Lord, and they were worshiping God, and they were hopefully at peace with their religion and where they were at with their relationship with the Lord before losing their lives. But anyway, that's enough with my political spiel. I just wanted to step back, make a video that said we as Americans, we have every right to grieve. We have every right to be angry about what occurred, but please don't forget that we have rights that we need to protect as well. So thank you again for your time. Appreciate the support. If you like the video, hit like. If you have comments, please share them. You have a right to your opinion, I have a right to mine. That's again, it's one of the wonderful things about being an American. So again, God bless America, and thank you for your time. Driven to compete. Have a great day.